welcome everybody. Here we are with Roberto from Orbe. Roberto, how's everything?
Fantastic. Nice to
Fantastic.
meet
Happy New Year, by the way.
you. Yeah, happy New Year. Also.
Orbe I think it's a breakthrough startup here in Spain. What they are doing is amazing, and it's helping a lot of companies to be actually able to sell globally. But I will let Roberto explain to us a little bit about the history of Orbe, what it is and what it does.
Yeah, I would like to start explaining a bit about myself, because before starting this company, I was a merchant myself, and I created my company in the United Kingdom.
When you say before starting this company, you are so young. I mean,
Yeah.
how long was that ago?
Almost 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
Yeah, 7 years ago. I started this company, and I'm a vegan, so I created the company in the UK to sell plant-based leather accessories.
Okay.
As myself, I feel all the pains of being a merchant, and at the same time of that, since I was very young, I've been as a front-end developer. So when I started my company, I started building my own website in that moment in PHP on WordPress, and a bit of backend, but mainly front-end development. So after that, I discovered Shopify. And from my own company, I feel the pains of selling cross-border. So after that, I joined with my co-partner, Alberto, to start this company, Massdesk, where we feel and wanted to create a company that creates high-quality software for commerce companies, mainly for business that we want to help them in their operations and etc. But for bootstrapping this company, we started offering front-end development services on Shopify. So we work initially as a Shopify development agency.
So right now you are a Shopify development agency here in Spain? No.
No.
But you do have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the knowledge, and we have worked with several brands here in Spain, mainly Shopify Plus brands, to help them with their front development services and creating custom apps and operations inside the Shopify platform. So, but everything changed when on August 2021, Shopify released a feature that they call, in a marketing way, Shopify Markets. When I saw that, I see a game changing in the ecosystem and all the technology sector of commerce.
For the people that might be seeing this and is not familiarized with what is Shopify Markets, could you add a little bit of an explanation so everybody can understand exactly what we are talking about? Yeah,
Shopify Markets is a full pack of tools inside the Shopify platform that enable any merchant to create localized experience inside Shopify. What does it mean? It means that in only one Shopify store, you can customize and create different localized experiences of products, content, language, currency, and prices.
And this is vital, actually.
Yeah.
I remember reading a few days ago a Gartner report that said that people usually leave the shopping cart when they find out that the store is not in their language, because people is afraid of buying things when it's not possible for them later to ask any question or ask a return of a product. I mean, that language barrier actually modifies the shopping intent, isn't it?
Absolutely. Actually, this and it's very important because even any company thinks that English is the common language, and it is.
Yeah, it's like international language.
Yeah, it's international language, but it's important to have.
Well, at the end of the day, here we are two Spaniards speaking English. So
that's the point. And or here, even in Europe, each country has their own language. So if you want to sell it in France, it's better to sell in French, not in English, right? It's a huge barrier, and we should never forget that many people worldwide doesn't speak English or Spanish or whatever language you are selling to. This is very, very important, and also the currency. It's common to see that many brands selling worldwide, they are selling everything in dollars or in euros, and obviously a localized customer in their own country, they want to buy in their own currency. They don't want to suffer the pain of exchange their currency, their dollar to their currency, etc.
No, and mistakes can happen in doing that exchange. Maybe you're thinking that it's going to be charged at a specific rate, and it's not that one.
Yeah, and you get an angry customer.
Yes. That was a few things you suffer when you were in the UK,
absolutely.
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and even when I was starting this company, it was more or less the process of the Brexit. So the United Kingdom was.
Oh my God! What a time!
Yeah, what a time! The worst time at all. Fortunately, I created my company before the Brexit, though, so it wasn't so hard for me. When you are trying to create a localized experience or different experiences in WooCommerce, in Magento, in the commerce, in other platforms that maybe we can speak later a bit more, you need to invest a huge amount of money and resources and time to create a good experience that if you want to sell, imagine 1,000 orders in a day or 2,000 orders or 1 million orders, have a huge structure in terms of hosting, in terms of technical infrastructure.
To support that.
Yeah, to support that. But with Shopify, everything's changed. With a matter of 3 clicks, you are creating a different subfolder with a different language for a different region. When I saw that, I see like the goal.
This is
the goal.
it.
I see, well, Shopify, here, they are going to buy all the market.
So it was that experience with Shopify what pushed you into creating Orbe.
Yeah, more or less.
And Orbe is an app that is exclusively for Shopify right now.
We are all focused on Shopify markets.
Okay, because what exactly does Orbe do?
Yeah, so when this was released, we started to work with many merchants because before that, many merchants was working, and right now, this is also a good option. They were working with what is called Shopify multiple expansion stores.
Okay.
This means that they have different expansion stores for each market. For example, they want to sell in Latin America. They have one store for all the Latin American markets, another store for the European Union.
They were individual stores.
Yeah, individual stores.
Okay.
Yeah, individual setups. And
with individual stock and pricing and all the stuff and all the pains. You know?
Yeah, and you need to connect and sync everything.
Okay.
Well, imagine how difficult
I can see where it's going, where this is going actually.
So we started to help many merchants, mainly in Spain and also by the United Kingdom and other parts of Europe, to migrate from multiple expansion stores to only one setup on Shopify markets. And in all this process, we saw that a common problem on even if you have multiple expansion stores or only one Shopify store with Shopify markets, that your customers, they don't know which store they want to buy in. They don't know where they are going to find the right localized content, prices, products, and currency for them. And there is a huge problem in geolocation. So Orbe is an app that creates in the most seamlessly way an advanced geolocation feature and technology for all Shopify stores in just 2 clicks. We integrate natively with the Shopify platform and their APIs with the Shopify Markets API. So we create a welcome pop-up right in their store to guarantee that each of the customers are always seeing the right content, product, price, etc. of their shipping country. Because here what we need to focus is if the customer is going to place an order for Spain, they want to see everything for Spain. If they want to place an order for Norway, everything should be focused on that. So Orbe guarantees that any store, if they use our technology, all their customers are always seeing every time the right content for the experience.
So from your perspective, would you say that it's easier or harder for companies to sell globally if they are based in the UK or if they are based outside of the European Union?
Outside of the European Union.
Outside of the European Union. I mean, it is harder if they're inside?
I would say that selling cross-border, you may also know, is harder. It's always hard.
It's always hard, yeah, that is true.
But if we compare the companies inside the European Union from the others that are outside of the European Union, I think it's easier for the companies that they are inside
the European Union. Yeah, that's kind of a standard thing. Everybody says, no, if you're inside the European Union, it's easier to sell. Yeah. But that's actually true?
Yeah, I think it's true. But not for the legislation of the... Obviously, this is also always a good and important point. But I think that companies based in the EU have like a strong advantage from their standards, that they better know how to approach another market. Because here, if you want to get a broader audience, you need to imagine you're a Switzerland company and you want to sell in Norway or other European countries. you are more understand better that you need to offer a different language.
And different cultures.
A different culture.
Yeah. Because even if it's the same coin and kind of the same laws, it is a lot of different people inside here.
Absolutely. And normally outside the European Union, mainly in the US, for example, they only with English they get almost the entire audience that you are with all the European Union together. So obviously you have a stronger advantage here that you understand better that each country is a different region, a different culture, and everything is different.
If I come from the United States and let's say I want to sell in the European Union, can I enter into this market using exclusively English? Would you say that it's something that
I think it's a mistake.
It's a mistake.
It's a mistake. Obviously, you can start with that, and you can test the market.
But in countries like Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, English is not so widespread.
It's not so widespread. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, for example, the Netherlands, you can test the Netherlands with only English because it's a region that English has an important language in their culture. But in other regions, I think it's a huge mistake because and actually we saw that. We saw that. I usually see more European brands that are doing a successful international strategy than US brands. And more or less, in terms of legislation, they have the same advantages. Obviously, it's always difficult, but the problem is that in the US, they think that only with English is enough, and this is not true. And I'm not talking only about English. I'm talking also about adapting the content to the culture. For example, you cannot sell only with the same American English to the UK. It's
not going to work.
It's not going to work. You need to offer a different homepage for the British people, even for Scotland.
That also happens with Spanish. I mean, people is not aware of that, but non-Spanish speaking people, I mean, is not exactly aware of that, and they think that Spanish is kind of a whole thing, but it's not.
It's not.
I mean, Spanish from Spain is widely different than Spanish from Latin, and people react differently.
Venezuela, Mexico.
Well, in Latin we have a party there. It's like absolutely different from one side to the other. Now, from Orbe's perspective, could you retail to us and to all the people that is watching us in Cross Border Magazine a success story that Orbe helped a company to break through into a complex market, and how do you did that?
Yeah, of course. I would like to emphasize the case study that we work with Victoria Beckham, the brand from the UK. They were having so much pain and troubles because in their scenario, they have 3 Shopify expansion stores. And each of their expansion store is focused on different Shopify markets. So they are combining Shopify expansion stores with markets.
Okay.
The reason of that is because they have different stocks. They have one stock in the UK, another stock in the US, another stock in the European Union. And obviously, each of the stores...
We're talking about physical product stocks.
Yeah.
They have
different warehouses.
Different warehouses, spread in the UK, the European Union, and
the US.
And the US. Oh my God. Yeah.
So obviously, the user was accessing to victoriabeckham.com, but they don't know that for placing order for any European country, they need to go to international.victoriabeckham.com. And they have tried to create their different geolocation strategies to localize their customers, but they were getting many support tickets each time. They didn't know how to not only redirect or move the customer to the other expansion store, but also moving inside that expansion store to the specific market experience of the country. So when they install Orbe, they set up everything like 24 hours with us, and they increase and resolve all the pains and problems they were having. So now, a Spanish user, for example, access to victoriabeckham.com, and they will see Orbe in the first visit, recommend them in their preferred language, in this scenario, Spanish, that they need to go to another store.
And most important, if I access from Spain to victoriabeckham.com, the international one, the products that I will see are the ones that are warehoused here. I mean, they're geolocated in my region, at least, in Europe, no?
Well, when you access first time to victoriabeckham.com from Spain, you will see the products and pricing and everything from the UK. That Orbe will appear and will tell you.
Okay, and then we'll redirect.
You are not in the right place, and you need to go to the Spanish store, is where you want to place your order. And when you accept that, when you accept our welcome pop-up, then we save this consent and we move you to the international store inside the country experience for Spain.
I guess that before Orbe and before that solution, like they would say in the UK, it was a bloody mess, isn't it?
Isn't it?
The whole
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
You got people from from Germany asking products in the UK store, and
or even it was having that. Obviously, when you see Victor Arabic and you think you're a German customer, okay, they will send me in GBP in pounds, but it wasn't true. They also sell in euros. However, they were thinking, so they continue in the customer journey. They add the product to the cart. They go to the cart. They go, and when they go to the checkout, they see what Germany is not here.
Germany is not here. Yeah.
So they were having many issues.
That kind of blunders actually damage the journey of a customer,
course.
isn't it?
And one of the main
Do you have like a statistic or something that would say like if this happens, 30% of the people will never go back into that store or something like that? Or
we
it's
have
not measured?
more or less
an
idea, but we don't like to say that because first of all is personal data from our customers,
Okay,
and also we don't like to sell a metric that this is going to happen. This is not our philosophy. We can ensure any merchant that use our technology that after you are using Orbe, you will see that your international conversion rate, not the global conversion rate, only the conversion rate for the countries that are outside of your national country will increase. Absolutely, because from now, after using our geolocation technology, all your users will start first always in the right localized experience until they go place their order in the checkout.
I mean, what you're saying sounds so natural. So like this should have happened a long time ago, but it's not. It's not. It's something that is kind of a breakthrough. What Orbe did.
Yeah, the reason of that is because first of all, the first strategy that all merchants do, and even in other technologies, is to automatically redirect the customer. But this is so painful. First of all, because sometimes I could be in France because I'm in a trip, but I want to place an order for Spain. So you are not giving me the opportunity to change the experience. And secondly, for ACO, this is very important. Google bots and web crawlers don't always get the advantage to geolocate their bots in the IPs of each location. So if you automatically redirect your customers based on their IP address, without asking them, what is going to happen is all web crawlers are going to read your website in the US experience and in English. So your Spanish experience, your French experience, etc., will not be crawled and indexed by Google or web crawlers. So, and lastly, the last point is that in the European Union, by the GDPR laws and data protection laws, it's not allowed to redirect to experience without the consent of the user. You need the consent.
That was precisely one of the things I was going to ask you. I mean, right nowadays, we have this huge concern about data protection, and Google actually had like a little mess a few days ago, a few weeks ago, I think, with the incognito thing that. It's proven that it was not such incognito thing.
It's not incognito.
Does Orbe? What is your take on that as an expert, as a company that has to deal with this? Do you think that European laws are perhaps too strict, too strong with this, or does it make sense for you? Like, as a person, you know, like, I want my privacy to be protected.
I think that generally, if we analyze the GDPR law and the data protection law, from now on, they are a fraud. Why? Because we have created a law to protect all customers, and we are enforcing, and from my point of view, getting worse customer experiences, creating cookie pop-ups. But at the end, every customer, every user on the web accept that cookies. So it's like
it's kind of an automatic thing also, but at this point already, you know, it's a pain in the ass. So you just go through the clicks, click.
So
it's not
the objective of the law was, okay, we are going to protect customers to not give their data for free, but they are doing it, and even they are doing it by giving their consent for free.
It's even worse.
So it's even worse.
Yeah, you could say that it kind of betrayed the whole spirit of the law, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Obviously, from a point of view, I think it's important that the way that they are enforcing forcing all websites to create these cookie pop-ups and not a good interface on it, Maybe it's not the best way to do it. However, I need to be honest. I don't know another way right now to do it. And obviously, as I told you before, I think that at least for moving to a customer to our experience, you need first to ask them, okay, this is the market that you want to buy in. This is the country, this is your language. Because in a way, it's like you enter in a store, and in the same way that when you are buying in an offline store, you have like a personal
a clerk from the store,
a store that guides you to buy is the same. So let's guide them to select the store that they want to buy, they want to place the order.
In a non-invasive way also.
Yeah.
Because that was another thing I was going to ask you. I mean, all this extra functionalities or solutions like Orbe, if not implemented correctly, can actually be a pain in the ass for the people that is going inside the e-commerce shops, you know?
Absolutely.
Because you one window, another window, and then redirect you here, redirect you there. You have been keen to protect that, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. From data protection laws, also first you need to approve our welcome pop-up, because our pop-up only appears in the first visit of the customer. In the subsequent visits will not come back.
And it's compliant with European Union regulations.
Yeah.
And with the United, is there something equivalent? I know the California state has something like that.
And no surprise, Brazil also has the same protection law that.
Those are the kind of the only ones in the world.
As far as I know, right now Brazil, California, and the European Union. Yeah. So obviously our consent is an essential cookie. What is called essential cookie, because you need to know the experience of the customer, what they want to buy in, to offer them the right experience. So it's an essential cookie that you will need to ask them, okay, this is the experience, and when they give you, okay, they are going to buy here, is enough. After that, you can show the cookie banner, and after that, imagine that a typical marketing pop-up that tell you get a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the main pains that if you don't
know
manage
the exact location,
every pop-ups will appear at the same time, and this is not a good experience, obviously. So yeah.
I mean, kind of a funny question here, but if I were using a VPN thing, what IP will register? The one from the VPN?
Yeah, the one for the VPN.
So you know, don't use a VPN if you want them to actually offer the product in the correct currency and your location and everything.
The VPN is a good tool
for other stuff.
Yeah, for other stuff, or also to test how your users from
can feel the experience of the store.
It's a good tool to test that.
Now, if you have to choose if you have to give the advice to a company that wants to start using geolocation, you know, like a solution like Orbe, what will be the first steps they need to do? Obviously, we know that one of the steps is going to be call Orbe, go for us. Absolutely. But what kind of first steps do you think they should have before jumping into that?
I think before jumping into our solution, they need first to do a good localized setup. So.
You mean content creation for the specific region?
Shopify settings. A good Shopify market settings.
We are always talking about Shopify because the Orbe is specifically for Shopify.
Yeah, but we can even extrapolate this to other platforms.
Okay.
What I mean with that is that if you are going to create different local experience for each different countries, usually what you do is you group countries inside experiences.
Like regions.
Regions.
UK and United Kingdom and Ireland, you know, like the Irish people won't be happy about that, but you bundle them.
That's the idea. That's the idea. So when you do that, sometimes I see that merchants create, this in Shopify is called markets. Okay, these groups of countries. So we normally see these markets that, for example, they create 40 markets or 30 markets, and it's like, okay, first of all, you're going to start your localized experience, your cross-border strategy. You need to think that each country that you're going to create a localized experience, it's different. You not only are going to focus in a technical way in content, products, pricing, etc., stock even. You also need to focus on that you are going to need to invest marketing time, money in marketing, time,
resources,
resources.
money and human resources.
Money and human resources. So you need to select very well the markets where you are going to start localizing your experiences, and obviously you need to do it in a slow way. For example, I don't think this is a good idea to, okay, I'm going to decide to start selling in Italy, France, and Germany at the same time, and translate my website in 3 languages with all the processes and time that you need to do to get a good localized experience for each country. It's very, very difficult. So before setting out your geolocation strategy, you have to a good mindset of how you want to create these markets and the subdomain or domain strategy for each market. For example, imagine that we are going to create a region for the European Union, and we are a British store. So we are going to create mystore.com. We're going to create a subfolder in mystore.com/EU/N for the English experience. So after that, when we start the subfolder, we need to think, okay, which countries we are going to add here in this subfolder experience that more or less we want to focus the same strategy in terms of context and localized experience. And not only that, but also pricing. So have a good strategy of how you're going to manage this in a way that when you scale the business, it's manageable for your team.
Yeah, it makes sense for you to. Yeah. It's in an orderly fashion. You can actually control the thing.
Exactly.
Now, you're talking about localization from a content perspective, and obviously, I know you mentioned the stock, but payments can be localized also.
Of course.
I know, for example, in Italy, that some people prefer to pay when they get the product, pay directly when they get the product on their houses. Yeah. It's kind of a thing there. But payment options like, for example, I don't know, which one is the most used in Spain right now? PayPal?
No. Well, credit cards. PayPal, for example, is very used in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, PayPal, for example, you're going to sell to British people or Australia, for example. They use very much
and
PayPal.
Orbe can help you, like, kind of offer that correct payment solution?
Yeah, because we connect with Shopify markets.
Okay.
Here, the localized payment experiences are managed by Shopify payments. So, or, for example, you use another solution like Globally, that Globally works natively with Shopify markets. So, obviously, for an Italian customer, they're going to offer a payment method that maybe is not available in Spain, because it's popular there. For example, here in Spain, a popular method is Bizum.
Bizum, yeah.
Or in Latin America, there are many payment methods that are specific for each country.
Yeah, for example, Mexico, they still, believe it or not, they still pay with physical money for online shopping.
Yeah.
They go for the Oxxos, which are kind of these 2011, 7-Eleven stores, and they go to the Oxxo and they pay directly there. They bring the ticket that they bought the product online to the Oxxo store and pay with cash, with hard cash, It's a thing,
It's a thing. Well,
it's a thing, yeah.
But you need to take that in consideration. Obviously, maybe sometimes it's not a good decision for your business, but this is very important. And in this scenario, Shopify payments, you're using Shopify payments, they will help you with that, or also with Globally or another method. Also, take in consideration using Klarna and these kind of payment methods that many European countries
already accept.
Yeah.
Now, from your vision as an expert on this matter, if you have to give an advice to a company that wants to start selling globally, which one would you say are the 3 main issues they will be facing?
Well, one of the first ones would be similar that I spoke before. People usually don't understand that one thing is internationalization, that somehow we can say that is just enable shipping countries, and that's it. And there is different
putting your products there.
Putting your products there.
That's one thing. That's internal.
And enable that you have a carrier for shipping to other country that is not your national one. That obviously in online commerce this is super easy to do. But there is so much different internationalization with localization. So here we are going to focus on that. And you cannot have a successful internationalization strategy without a good localization strategy. So
you mean nowadays? Nowadays, it's impossible.
It's impossible. So and when we talk about localization, not only what we have talked before, pricing, content, etc. We need to focus on the entire customer experience. Since they start in the homepage of the store, they go to the collection page, they access to the product, go to the cart, check out, and after that, the post-purchase, not only the learning experience. The emails they're going to receive, obviously, this is one of the main points that we see that they forgot about it. They offer.
It's important. It is important nowadays still. I mean, because some people, there's a huge debate on the community regarding email marketing. People been killing the email marketing for ages already. You know, like this is the year. This year, email marketing is dead.
It's
no
your strategy.
More. But somehow it comes back every year. You know, it's like a zombie. It refuses to die.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, it is something that it's useful. Email marketing
it's super
nowadays?
useful. We've seen.
So you do have to make a proper localized email marketing
Absolutely.
campaign.
I see merchants and brands that they are getting 40% of the revenue from email marketing.
From email marketing.
And email is super.
So
cheaper.
people open the emails and read stuff, and
Obviously, you're going to send 1 million emails, and from that, you're going to open 20% of them. But from that 20%, you can get many sales, and you can do cross-selling, upselling, and you can do many strategy, and also explain your brand and your story to their customers, so they empathize with you. So
you create that kind of loyalty between the customer and the brand.
So it's super important. And as a customer, maybe you have experienced that. You buy in a store that is selling everything in Spanish, but when you place the order, you receive everything in English. Obviously, we spoke English, we don't have any issue, but it's weird. It's like, okay, if you offering me everything in Spanish, why I'm receiving this in English?
Yeah.
Or the other way around. I see many Spanish brands that offer everything in English, but then they send the email in Spanish. And this is
what's going on here. Yeah.
So it's very important, and this is one of the main
localization. So we say internationalization is not the same as localization. Yep. First step. Second step. Second big issue.
To detect first which is the markets outside of your national one that you can get a huge amount of sales there that without doing anything is working, and if you add the localization strategy, it will increase. As I told you before, it doesn't make any sense to start scaling cross-border to 5 countries with 5 localization experiences at the same time. It will not work. You just need to select a country and create an entire marketing strategy for
that specific country.
Because obviously our solution, and we'll be super honest, is focused on, and this is one of the missions that we are solving here at Masters, our holding companies. We will help you in all the technical way, so you can forget about it. Please focus on selling. At the end of the day,
mind your business, is what you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the return of investment is kind of a thing you have to keep in the horizon.
Absolutely.
No? I mean, if I have to choose between 2 countries and one of them has a potentially higher return of invest in the short term, like you said, without having to do nothing excessive, I would rather go for the easy one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the last point I will tell you is more technical, but I see that they start to create different localized experiences, and many merchants like to create different domains or subdomains.
Yeah, the famous, if you're selling for Colombia, it's .co. If you're selling for Mexico, it's MX, you know, all the stuff. Does that thing make sense?
From my point of view, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, it's something important, and in the long term, for Google, from SEO.
Some people expert in SEO will disagree with you, will immediately jail and say, no.
I am the first one that, if I want to focus on a strategy, I will say you, in an SEO way, create a subfolder. Because you will have all the authority of the main domain, and you will move this authority to your subfolders. So it's the best strategy without any excuse. Obviously, if we talk in a long way, if you have a local domain, it will create a better strategy, and you will get a better position maybe for Spanish Google results or French Google results. But this is not very important for Google. You need to create good content and good quality, and this kind of subfolders domain.
At the end of the day,
you are focusing on something so complex and you need to do move fast and focus on creating and give value.
And you can even argue that some people from the SEO community could even say that, well, maybe you don't even have to battle your way through putting the whole main store into subdomains, but just create your marketing channel in that subdomain. Like, for example, a blog. You might have a main store in a .com normal domain, and then have multiple blogs for that same story in the individual domain, so you can actually get the search result traffic that you want.
Exactly.
Would you say that might work in Europe also?
Yeah.
In Latin America, I know it works. I've done it.
It will work. It will work. In terms of a vlog and content, it will work absolutely. Maybe, obviously, you need to create subfolder experiences or domains of domains, because you need to serve your content in a server way. I see that many brands also that set up everything in the domain, because even in Shopify or other platforms, you can have a .com, and here with a selector, everything will change, but this is done in a JavaScript way from the front end. And in technical speaking, here what will happen is that Google bots and word crawlers, they are not going to be able to read and crawl this content.
They will not crawl properly.
No. So it's important to create these experiences in subfolders or subdomains or whatever you prefer. You need to take in consideration that if you pick a subdomain or a domain, you will start at the beginning of your process. What does it mean? If I have mystore.com and I started to create an experience for France, mystore.fr, you will start with that domain from the beginning. Google, it will be as you are starting right now with the domain. However, you create a subfolder, you will move this authority to that. And after that, the main issue is that they forgot to sell all this information to all the marketplaces and feeds. This could be an issue. Well, you can imagine, because we are not talking about only. First of all, Facebook Meta. It's possible, and I see so many matches that they don't do it. You can easily set up and send all your different subdomains and URLs for each country to Meta. So when a British user goes to your Instagram, they will see their prices, and they will go directly to the URL of the country.
What you're saying is that you can actually personalize or customize the experience in social media. By geolocalization.
Yeah, it's possible.
And people is not doing that.
No, it's not doing
I got to be honest with you. No one is doing that thing, you know? Because I always go
to... The only channel that they may invest some time is Google Merchant Center. They usually forgot about it also.
But technically it is possible.
It's possible, and it's super easy. It's mostly easy.
Says the expert, you know, it's super easy, you know.
It's not super easy, but that you need to invest some time. And
but it's a funny thing, because actually I follow many brands in the United States that I like, of different kinds of products. I'm not going to geek out here about what, but when I go inside, I find myself with the prices of the United States and everything for the United States. And I'm actually going, I'm using Instagram, but I'm going from Spain. I'm going into their Instagram here in Madrid, you know. So it's interesting, and it's something that Orbe could do for anyone, or only for.
It's not our focus. It's not for our.
It's not your focus
but
now.
We recommend an app that you can find in Shopify.
In the Shopify App Store.
Store.
Orbe is inside the Shopify App Store.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and you are Diamond there, I think, something like that. There's a higher quality tier.
We got a bill for Shopify status that only when we got it, only 66 apps from the App Store got it.
Among thousands of apps.
Thousand. I think right now there are 8,000, and right now I think we are like 200 apps only in the Shopify App Store that we have the Shopify built for Shopify status, the badge.
Built for Shopify is called the thing.
Shopify. Yeah, built for Shopify. That guarantees that this app is created and fully synchronized with Shopify.
It works like a native part of
Shopify, and doesn't affect to the speed performance at all.
Oh, that's great. That's cool. How many apps in Spain do you dare to say have that built for Shopify status?
From now, I think we are the only one.
I think you are the only one also. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you are the only one.
I think,
as far as I remember,
I think we are the only one, I don't know from now. Maybe I forgot it, but I think no. Yeah, we are still the only one.
Finally, if you have to give one advice, just one, to a company that wants to expand globally, which one will that be?
I think it will be sum up in one word: traffic. Focus on traffic. The most important thing here is traffic. You are going to find many technical issues, many technical points, even career points, even many things in the cross-border strategy and cross-border experience when you are starting to selling globally with your brand. But the main important thing is how we are going to get high quality traffic for other countries. So just focus on that and take advantage of what you have learned and experienced with your national experience, getting a good. I suppose that you are starting selling cross-border when you have a good experience in your national market, and with that experience, try to how you replicate that in other markets. Replicate your strategy and try to get high-quality traffic for your brand in these countries. Traffic will be.
It's the thing.
It's the thing. It's traffic.